You study today's black culture is trash. Ain't nothing positive about black culture. We're not highlighting spelling bee winners. We don't talk about the newest black business that's doing good. When you go on social media, you look at some of the most trending videos and trending topics. It ain't black empowerment. It ain't uplifting black people. When you look at our movies, we ain't got no black heroes. Black culture has black propaganda. Hitler used propaganda to get the Germans to turn on the Jews. We use propaganda for our culture. We propagate pimps, gangsters, killers, womanizers, robbers, deceit, being unfaithful. We got some propaganda, homie, that's brainwashing.
I remember when the BET Awards back in the day growing up was so like inspirational. You will see a lot of the 90s R&B artists, you know, look presentable and pleasant. Back in the day, the BET Awards was more of like a family show. It was sort of clean enough that it's something you can watch with your parents or your kids. But that's no longer the case nowadays. I definitely didn't watch it this year, but I definitely have heard the rumblings of people complaining about it online. And I was a bit shocked to see that there was a lot of black women complaining about it. And I don't know what this year's award show did to black women, but they are triggered. Let's get right into it.
Now, y'all know that I don't like nothing that Sexy Red does. I don't. I'm not even gonna hold you. The only thing I want to see from Sexy Red is her getting baptized. But you know, this is what so many of y'all are fighting for. Like, this is what y'all fighting for. Like, I posted something about the ratchet culture, and I stand my ground on that. I freaking hate the black ratchet culture. I freaking hate it. But like, some of you are just fighting for dear life to justify this, and it's just like, what are you justifying? Why do you want to be dumb? Why do you want to be ignorant? Why do you want to be ghetto? What are we fighting for right now? It doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm sick and tired of the twerk culture. I'm tired of, like, every time I'm on Instagram, every time I look on the TV, somebody is shaking their booty. I've had enough. I don't want to see y'all's booties. I really don't. I don't want to see y'all's booties no more.
My wife thought I was taking her to the Drake concert.
I don't know, y'all, if it's just me, and I might get a lot of backlash for saying this, but I just feel like the BET Awards have now become this promotion of degeneracy on the black community. Like, if I'm being honest, like, back in the day when I was growing up, the BET Awards used to be a celebration of, like, black excellence and black artistry and black creativity, and they would even have people who would talk about programs that were winning humanitarian awards for having programs in the black community, putting young black men in schools and teaching them how to be men, and putting young black girls in different programs that would help our community. And now I didn't even get to watch the BET last night. I saw clips on TikTok, and it's just like, I'm glad I didn't watch it. You know, used to back in the day, you know, they would dress up and they would put gowns on and put their best suits on. It was a celebration of black excellence at one point. And it's just like, now it's just been degeneracy. It's just degenerate stuff now. It's like black culture is like this stereotypical idea, like the stereotypical preconceived notion that a lot of white people have towards black people.
So I've been scrolling on TikTok and I've been seeing, of course, a lot of discourse regarding the EBT Awards, because that's just what we're gonna call it moving forward. Again, I did a video on this last year. It's progressively getting worse every single year. These artists that we got up there, or just in the music industry in general, especially in hip-hop, are so embarrassing. The shit gives you secondhand embarrassment. Like Sexy Red, Ice Spice, all of these people, like, just terrible. Then they were honoring Usher this year, and you would think they would bring, you know, some men that know how to dance, aka Chris Brown, Neo, all these people. Like, there were so many options. Even Mario, shit, y'all could really pull out anybody out of the vault to really give or just provide some type of like justice to his catalog and everything he's contributed. And they had a bunch of women, but the outfits are never giving, the performances are not giving, nothing is giving. I'm telling you, like, the last good BET Awards worth watching was probably in 2009 or 2008 and before that, or shit. And even then, because I mean, I feel like the 2010s were even pretty valid, but now, bro, that shit is embarrassing. Like, I have my older sister went with like her friends to it was like the BET experience or some shit. So I said, that is dusty. Like, who the fuck, the BET experience, like, okay, yeah, maybe a few years ago, but like, who's really checking for that shit at this point? It's ass every single year. And it's so sad because it's like, for one, the BET Awards represented the Black community, and just like, it was a moment. Like, that shit used to really be a fucking moment. Like, anytime I see like Beyonce's performances, that's another thing, y'all never see Beyonce at a fucking BET Award, okay? Like, you will never catch her dead at a BET Awards, and that should tell you enough.
Is it me, or is it the BET Awards is like this running train of hot garbage? The BET Awards used to be Black excellence, Black sophistication. Every Black artist, entertainer, anyone with Black influence was there. All of our artists, all of our creatives, the humanitarians, all there. You know, people doing good in the community with all their programs. You got your highlights. You know, the real Black creative artists, musicians, you know, real professionals, adults, grown folks was there. You know, people who took the craft seriously, who you could tell they loved Black people, Black entertainment, Black culture. That was BET that I grew up with. This BET of today is just degeneracy. It's ratchet. It's ugly. Nobody shows up for real. I mean, I don't know hardly anyone that performed. All the new artists are like, who are these people? All the Usher, for instance, it seems like there's an attack on masculinity because no men got awarded anything, and all the people who did the Usher renditions, who did their tribute to Usher, were female. So it's like, are men being, you know, kicked out of this space now?
See, I'm old enough to remember when BET used to be Black and excellent. In the 80s, what? We were the first family on the block with cable, and we were the first family on the block with BET. It means everybody was at our house watching Donnie Simpson, Video Soul, Midnight Love. Oh, it was a time, honey. BET in the 80s and 90s, classic Black television. Black and excellent television. We got Real News from Tabitha Smiley and Ed Gordon. We had Bet on Jazz. We had Bobby Jones Gospel, Ananda Lewis with Teen Summit, Rap City in the Basement, Comic View, Planet View, Lift Every Voice. BET was amazing. And because MTV was playing in our face, we had our own channel to watch our own artists and people that look like us and enjoy the music that we like to listen to. It was a time, honey. The 80s and the 90s? What? But then, 2000s happened. Now, mind you, BET Awards, classic 2001, 2002, 2003, 04, 05, classic award show moments. I'm talking James Brown, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, and Prince. Those are timeless, classic memories I have of the BET Awards. Even when Beyonce debuted and Monique hosted, amazing. But then Bob Johnson sold BET to Viacom in 2005. And stuff ain't been the same since then. Wait, y'all remember Midnight Love? And video vibrations with all the Caribbean music and videos? Amazing. But BET hasn't been black and excellent in a very long time. But something interesting happened in 2005 when he sold the company to Viacom. The programming got really weird and crazy. Like late night BET Uncut, the things that they were playing, the images they were showing, wasn't very black and very excellent.
We need more balanced programming from BET. I agree with that. Lavelle said, what's wrong with the NAACP Image Awards? Nothing is wrong with it. That's my thing. The NAACP Awards still has standards. The Grammys still have standards. You will not catch some of these artists who we see going to BET Awards doing some of the things that they do if they go to the Grammys, doing some of the things that they would do at the NAACP Awards, because we have lost leadership. Let me explain this about Deborah Lee real quick before we move on. You can say whatever it is that you want about Deborah Lee, but what you can't say is that she did not have standards. She put her foot down to where activists, people were coming to her house because she would not allow the B word on her station. She wouldn't allow certain videos to be played on the station because she had standards. She wouldn't allow certain things. We don't have those anymore. In BET, we used to look forward to it. We used to look forward to it because it was somewhat wholesome, but it was still very much culture, and we just don't have that anymore.
I think the Black community has a very hard time with respect. In fact, we're a very disrespectful community. We celebrate being disrespectful or anti-establishment. F the police, right? Call the females bitches, right? How can our youth flourish when we're teaching and promoting and celebrating and applauding disrespect? Disrespect is rioting. Disrespect is burning down a neighborhood that had nothing to do with George Floyd. Disrespect is killing a police officer that has nothing to do with George Floyd. And we don't have celebrities standing up and saying it's wrong in our community.
Jay-Z could tell people not to wear a jersey anymore and put on a button up, and people do it. That's the same way now. When you look at it, we don't have, like you mentioned him earlier, at least he was, even through the music, even though he talked about his past and his life, at least he still kind of gave some positive things into the music. Now it's just, do drugs, get high, shoot people. And I'm like, because even in Brooklyn right now, when you look, the crime rate is going up in Brooklyn. We've had, the other day, there was literally 7 shootings in 10 minutes. I'm talking about different areas in Brooklyn. So it's like, what influenced that? When you look at the lifestyle of Chicago, we done took in the whole drill music, and as soon as we got that into our community, the gang violence shot up extremely. But it's all about being cool. And it's like, you willing to die to be cool?
It's so funny you say that because so I was just telling you offline that I added an addendum to my book on culture, and I literally said Black America has a problem with wanting to be cool. I used the exact word, and there's a quote in that chapter that I want to bring up, which was a quote that was written by Confucius, who was a Chinese philosopher. I think it was like, he was a Chinese philosopher from 440 BC, I mean, long time ago. And he said, if one should desire to know whether a kingdom is well governed, if its morals are good or bad, the quality of the music will furnish the answer. And when I read that quote, I instantly thought about Black America and the quality of the music, right? What you're putting in your ear is going to tell you whether or not the morals in this community are good and bad. And I talked about the irony that, you know, today people will say they have this concept of what acting Black is, right? And that this is what it means to be Black. And you, therefore, Candace, are not Black because you're speaking proper English, right? Because you're not interested in having fights, you know, because you don't have baby daddies and all this stuff going on. And the thing is I say, actually, I'm very Black. I just don't recognize this decade of being Black, because this is not what Black was in the 1940s. This is not what Black was in the 1950s. This is not when my grandfather was listening to music. The number one song was The Temptations. My Girl, right? I write about this in the chapter. The first words of My Girl: I got sunshine on a cloudy day, and when it's cold outside, I've got the month of May. And then I looked at the top song right now in Black America, and it's Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce. And the first lyrics are like, I'm that bitch, I'm this bitch. And I'm thinking, this happened in the span of 40 years, right? 40 years. So what happened to Black culture?
And I mean, that is what happened to Black culture. Because once it became like you have to live a certain type of way, now it's like there's no other way to live. It's like, and we congratulate stupidity in the Black community. Like, the more stupid you are, it's like, yeah. And I tell people, I was like, why do you think kids didn't want to grow up going to school? Because going to school, you became a nerd. It's like, they don't respect you. Like, oh, look at you. And you can just tell, even when it comes to like people coming home from jail compared to somebody that's coming home from college, you see the difference in love and respect. And you know who gets it? The guy that comes home from jail.
Name 5 things that you have to offer a man.
Nothing, and nothing.
You ate with that one.
Thank you, best friend. Nothing.
What do you need from a man who you're gonna take seriously?
Money.
That's all you look for. You're not serious though.
I am serious.
So why would a man even want to look your way if you can't add value to his life?
Well, no, if you ain't got the bag down.
Right. Thank you.
You ain't trying to spend the money down.
So let's say the man has the bag and he wants to spend the money. What does he get back?
I asked him a question like, what's my favorite color? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nigga. Yeah, let's get to know each other. What color is my motherfucking real hair?
Well, we don't keep it shallow over here. We talk about real stuff. Now, when it comes on to the money, why does your man have to have it?
Because I get it.
So how much you make then?
That's none of your business. I'm a nurse, and it's none of your business.
So how much do you want your man to make?
He needs to be in the streets.
Stay down so we come up.
You want a hood guy while you're in the medical field?
I want a good guy, bad guy, whatever brings the money and make me richer. That's what it is. If he can't pay all my bills and take care of what else I got going on, and then no.
People are mad at this woman for knocking over a street performer's setup and stealing his money. She was identified as Shantae Hurd from Athens, Georgia, who apologized, and the street performer accepted her apology. But now I want to find this guy who gave the money to the performer as a kind gesture.
You drink liquor? No, not really. Like, it depends, like, on occasion with my mama and shit. Like, she give me a shot, I throw back, but no, I don't drink.
With your mama? So when you out doing hostess and shit, you know?
No.
Okay, so do you do drugs? So you just a boring ass nigga?
Yeah.
Me too.
I like a nigga that I can have fun with.
What you do? Would you be drinking a lot? What you mean have fun?
No, I'm saying, you know, what do you, what else?
You got drugs to have fun?
No, you don't. So what else makes you happy, like that gets you?
I just be chilling, I'm always happy, I ain't never mad.
That's good.
Not It is not diversity that we are celebrating. It is perversity. You think that it's something to be proud of. It's not. So when you say something like, oh, Candace Owens, we don't want you in our culture. You don't understand Black culture. I have to keep reminding you that I don't want to be a part of this culture. I want to destroy it. I want to destroy it further than it's already destroyed itself. I want to go backward. Your idea of progressivism is clearly regressive. Our children cannot read. This is a new plantation. All of the same problems, right? When slavery was in existence, there were a lot of things that needed to be maintained to make sure that the slaves never woke up. The first being the breakdown of the Black family. Slaves were constantly being sold. Booker T. Washington, in his book Up From Slavery, talks about the fact that when his mother was sold and his mother was taken away from him, he didn't even cry.